So you like the value of Sanctuary. You like what it offers for the price that you pay. Now, what are the differences between the three? Now, over the past few months, I've been to the Sanctuary at Grand Memories in Varadero, Cayo Santa Maria, and now Holguin. So I thought, why not just do a little compare and contrast?
We'll compare the resort sizes, food, beaches, employees, drinks, the noise levels, even the noise levels, the cleanliness, pools, rooms, transfer time, entertainment and activities, the guests, nearby towns, and the Wi-Fi.
Now, obviously, sitting on your laptop back at home, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. You read good reviews, you read bad reviews, you get excited, you get scared. Food shortages, fuel shortages, this and that. But over the past few months, this is what I've noticed. Is it recording? Okay. Now, the first sanctuary I've been to in Varadero, it was wintertime. Now it's pretty much spring, almost summer. So things do vary depending on season, but I'm trying my best, okay? Size. Now, the largest one by far is the one at Cayo Santa Maria. It takes about 10 minutes to walk from the sanctuary to the main Grand Memories area because the sanctuary is a little bit further away from the rest of the resort. It's a huge resort. Now, I would say Holguin and Varadero are pretty similar in terms of size. Holguin, I've noticed, is more structured. So you have the sanctuary, you have Grand Memories, and you have the Diamond Club, and they're pretty similar looking. Varadero, it's a little different. The sanctuary looks a little different than the main Grand Memories area. Now, again, if you go to Cayo Santa Maria, be prepared to walk a lot, unless you want to just stay in the sanctuary part and not go to the Grand Memories, which I think would actually be a disservice because you want to check out the whole resort. You want to check out all the different amenities and the buffets, the food that they offer, right? That's why you pay for Sanctuary, because you not only get access to Sanctuary, you get access to Grand Memories. 2 for 1. Well, 3 for 1, because you also get access to the Diamond Club areas too. How's the view, by the way? It's good, right? Now, the food. The food I've noticed, let's start off with Cayo Santa Maria. In Cayo Santa Maria, they had a lot of chicken. Obviously some seafood, your typical Cuban vegetables, fruits, desserts, which are not so sweet, by the way, I like that actually. But yeah, a lot of chicken there. And the chicken was really good. The chicken, they really got it down. The chefs really got it down. Cayo Santa Maria also had eggs throughout all the time. They had milk as well for your coffee. They didn't have, from what I remember, they didn't have white wine sometimes. They didn't have Coke. They didn't have gin. And sometimes, obviously, things vary depending on which part of the resort you went to as well. The a la carte restaurants are nice. Some of it is repurposed stuff from the buffet, but the presentation is better and they spend more time on the food. It does taste better generally in the a la carte restaurants. They also had a lot of pork options. I mean, you're in Cuba, so they eat a lot of pork here, so you'll get pork everywhere. Now, Varadero. Varadero had a lot of seafood on top of the pork, obviously, a lot of pork options, but a lot of seafood. They didn't really have chicken, no beef. The a la carte restaurants were actually really nice, and I ended up going to the a la carte restaurants pretty much every night because they had better food there. I liked the Japanese restaurant there, which had sushi, and it was surprisingly pretty good. In terms of eggs, they sometimes had eggs. Mostly they didn't. Now, Holguin, this time around, I'm here in May. They have some seafood. They have beef. They have your typical vegetables, carrots, cabbage, bell peppers, a lot of pork, obviously, again. And here in Holguin, it doesn't seem like they have any shortages in terms of drinks. Now, all 3 resorts, obviously, the Cubans take pride in their coffee. So, try their iced coffee, try their normal coffee, try their Americano, try all their coffee options, cappuccino, and they make it really well. They really put a lot of effort into making their coffee. The beaches. Cayo Santa Maria had the biggest beach I've seen. You can just walk, and again, Sanctuary is much further down than the Grand Memories. So you can just walk along that strip, and the beach is deep, it's wide. There's a coral reef right there. It's awesome. The water is calm. It's turquoise. It's clear. It's shallow. You can swim in it. I mean, that's the best beach. It has to be one of the best beaches in the world in Cayo Santa Maria. That strip of beach. I miss it. I mean, I'm here in Holguin, but still, I miss that one too. That's how good it was. Even when I was in Hawaii, I was missing the beach in Cayo Santa Maria. And I've talked to a few other people here as well, and they've been to the Sanctuary in Cayo Santa Maria, and they agree with me. Varadero. The Sanctuary beach in Varadero was more secluded from the Grand Memories side because it was more of a pocket of beach. It was very deep. The water was also really nice. I mean, it's a Varadero beach. What more can I say? It was a little windy and it was a little bit cold, but that could be because I was there in December, winter season. But I did go in for a swim a couple times. Holguin here, the beach is also really nice. And this time around in May, I've seen that there's a lot of algae, there's a lot of seaweed just floating up into the beach, but they're trying really hard to clean that up. Every single morning I see a truck come through with people just, picking up all the greenery and putting it into the truck. So they're trying really hard. Now, one little gripe I have is that I do see more, I don't want to say garbage, but clutter. So more plastic here. So they could do with a little bit of a cleanup here in terms of the plastic, especially on the coral reef. There's a bit of plastic there. But I mean, it seems like they're about to build a few more things, so I'm guessing they're going to clean it up eventually. But they're trying hard to keep it as clean as possible. And the beach here is very well structured, so you have the Sanctuary, and it pretty much looks the same compared to Grand Memories and Diamond Club. You have the Sanctuary on the far left, then Grand Memories, then Diamond Club, and they all look pretty much the same. Even the beach bar looks the same from Sanctuary to Grand Memories. Oh, I'm sweating. Let's talk employees. The people of Cuba, as you might have heard, are one of the friendliest people, nicest people in the world. And that might have to do something with the fact that they don't have much internet here. I mean, let's not get into the downsides of unlimited internet. But anyways, social media, am I right? But the people are really nice everywhere you go. They'll try their hardest. But I would say Holguin and Cayo Santa Maria had the nicest. They just seemed happier. You see them dancing while they're doing their job, And obviously, it depends on person to person. They're not robots, they're human beings. So it's not really apples to apples. But I'm talking generally here. Sure, I've come across an odd employee or two who probably was having a bad day. So to an unsuspecting person, they might think that they're giving an attitude. But no, it's just they're humans, right? At the end of the day. And they work really long shifts too. But despite that, they're just like such hard workers here. And I gotta admire them for that. Now, I touched on drinks earlier, but let's get on to drinks. Sure, drinks depend on shortages, but generally speaking, on paper, they should have gin, whiskey, wine, white and red, coffee, as I mentioned. One thing I will say is that they give you one big bottle per day. So obviously you probably will need more water, especially in this heat. So go to the lobby with your bottle and they'll fill it right up. Not a big deal. I found that here in Holguin, they stock up my fridge with 2 beers and a Coke every single day, which is nice. In Cayo Santa Maria, I only had Fanta, whatever, the orange. I think they have Fanta here once. And in Cayo Santa Maria, right at the beginning, I had a Coke and a beer. That's it. Noise levels. Now, I personally prefer a quiet area. I prefer my vacation to be quiet. If I want music, I can just put on my headphones and listen to music. I've noticed that in Cayo Santa Maria, they blast music in the pool and sometimes in the beach as well, which, I mean, it's great if you're into that sort of thing. I'm personally not into that. And it's called Sanctuary, right? Quiet, relaxation. That's what Sanctuary is. So I would hope that maybe they could just not have music there and only have music in the Grand Memories, if anything. Varadero, they had music in the Grand Memories pool and the beach. And the funny thing is that you could listen to the bays coming in to the Sanctuary part of it. And again, I'm here in Cuba to listen to the ocean, not somebody else's playlist. So maybe they could turn on the bass, they could turn on the volume a little bit. Holguin, they're playing music usually in the Grand Memories pool and also the beach. And when I'm at the beach here at Sanctuary, it's you can hear the bass a little bit here and there. So maybe again they could turn it down a little bit. Now as for the guests, I'm personally not a fan of bringing a speaker in public spaces. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's nice. You have very specific music taste and not everybody could like it. And again, people are here to enjoy, relax. So maybe just keep your speaker inside your room and listen to your music there. And when you're outside of your room, just have your headphones on you. It's just a common courtesy thing. Cleanliness. So I touched a bit on that before. They try really hard everywhere, all 3 of the resorts, to keep it as clean as possible. And you can see the landscapers every single morning just working away, chopping away at the green. And in terms of the beach, I would say the Cayo Santa Maria beach is the cleanest. Varadero was a little bit dirty, but not bad. And here in Holguin, again, a bit of plastic I can see. But still, they try their level best to keep it as clean as possible. The pools. Cayo Santa Maria pool. You have 2 pools in Sanctuary and then a couple pools in the rest of the resort. The pool in Sanctuary is a little bit loud during the daytime. Again, they blast music there. So if you're into that sort of thing, that's great. I'm personally not, as I said. Varadero actually was very interesting because the Sanctuary pool had really calm, really nice, low volume music, like spa music almost, ambient music, which was not bad actually. I prefer that over the loud, thumping party music during the day. And here in Holguin, there's no music playing here at the Sanctuary side of the pool. It's just quiet, which I prefer. It's great. The rooms. Cayo Santa Maria, the resort itself is a little dated, so you can see its age. But this time around I went, they did a fresh paint job, which was nice. Varadero, now I got a free upgrade to the junior suite, so you have your own living room separate from the bedroom. It was huge. And I was happy about it. And that was really nice. It was on the ground level, which, pros and cons of that. Obviously, you don't have much of a view, but also it's easier to get in and out of. I could just exit through my balcony and go to the bar if I needed a drink. And the room itself was great. Really well maintained, clean. Here in Holguin, it's a fresh resort. So the rooms are brand spanking new. It's very clean. Now again, in all 3 of the resorts, they try really hard to keep your room as clean as possible. Now, travel time from the airport to the resort. So you get picked up by a shuttle bus. In Cayo Santa Maria, it takes less than 2 hours. So 1 hour and 45 minutes, including all the other resort stops because it's a strip of resorts. Varadero was less than 1 hour. Holguin, it's a little bit over 2 hours. And this was the only resort that people came to, which was because there's no other resorts in the area. Entertainment and activities. So they have theaters in all 3 of the resort, and they have nightly shows here. You'll find a Michael Jackson at every resort pretty much. And they try really hard. The entertainers, they try really hard to, you can see them practicing earlier on, and the shows are very well thought out, props to them. In terms of activities, you have the catamarans, you have the kayaks, you have the paddle boats that you can rent for free. And, they have the entertainers in the pool as well. And, they want you to dance and, enjoy yourself so you can dance with them. In Varadero, I've noticed at night that, some guys would come around and they would start a dance party basically. And that was fun too. Now the guests, as you might know, it's mostly Canadians coming here. Obviously people from the US don't come here. And, you get some Germans, some Russians, some Europeans as well. And generally speaking, they're very respectful. Everybody's just here to have a good time and relax, get away from the first world stresses. So, everybody's just laid back here. Proximity to other town cities. In Cayo Santa Maria, there's a plaza right beside the Grand Memories, and it's called Plaza Estrella. And it's a little market that they built just for the tourists here. And if you need a break from your resort and go eat at a restaurant, you can do that. You can take a walk down there and just, there's a nice little watchtower up there too. So you can overlook the resort, the area. There's also a town, Remedios, that you can take a day trip to. Varadero, obviously it's Varadero. So you have the Varadero city nearby, and there's a hop on, hop off bus. Last time I checked, it was $5 to get on. And you can check out how the locals live there. There are a lot of markets, things like that there too, and restaurants as well. There's also Havana, 2 hours away, so you can take a guided tour on the bus. You can also take a private car, which I would highly recommend, especially if it's two or more people going. You can just take a private car, and it's a little bit more money, but it's totally worth it because you have your own personal guide, and it's a classic car that they take you in. It's beautiful and it's more comfortable. And main thing is that it's a little loud. Where was I? Private car from Varadero to Havana. So I would highly recommend taking the private car there. You can just ask your lobby. It's beautiful. You have your own personal guide, and more importantly, you have your own time there. You get to pick the agenda. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to spend most of the time, right? Where do you want to spend most of your time? And that was great because I personally, the first time I took the guided bus tour, and I found that I wanted more time in the old Havana part, take pictures, things like that. But I think we got out around hour and a half there, which wasn't enough, to be honest with you. And some of the other stuff I could go without seeing. So the private car was great. Holguin, it's away from everything. It's a little bit over 2 hours away from the airport. There is a little plaza that they built near here. It's about, you can just take one of these carts there, or you can walk there. It's walkable apparently. And they also have restaurants there, and, like a little market where you can buy your trinkets as well, your souvenirs. The Holguin city, the main city, is about 2 hours away from here. And Santiago is over 2 hours away. I'm going to be going there tomorrow. Santiago is the second largest city in Cuba. Wi-Fi. Obviously, Cuba Wi-Fi, it's a hit or a miss. But what I found is that the lobby areas, the communal areas, have good Wi-Fi signal. You can watch your videos. You can video call your family back home. So I would go to the lobby. In terms of the rooms, it's a hit or a miss. In Varadero, I had Wi-Fi everywhere. The Wi-Fi was great. And obviously, it's a more developed area of Cuba, so they have better Wi-Fi there. I had Wi-Fi in my room, no problem, everywhere, pretty much. And it was pretty strong Wi-Fi as well. In Cayo Santa Maria, I had Wi-Fi in my room, but it depends on which area of the resort your room is in terms of the Wi-Fi. But again, the lobby, you go to any of the lobbies and you get strong Wi-Fi there. Here in Holguin, I only get Wi-Fi right here in the balcony. I don't, and even then it's a hit or a miss. Maybe 70% of the time I get Wi-Fi. In my room, no Wi-Fi. And again, the communal area, so the lobby, the restaurants here, and the main part has strong Wi-Fi. So you can log in there. You can grab a drink, you can sit down, you can call your friend or your family. But again, if you don't need to work, if you don't need internet, just dial it back a couple decades and just be at one with your surroundings, right?
So let's wrap this up and see which resort has the best of each category. For resort sizes, I'd have to give it to Holguin for how simple it is to get around the entire resort. For food, I'd have to give it to Cayo Santa Maria, but Holguin is a close second. For the beaches, hands down, it has to be Cayo Santa Maria. For the employees, it's a tie between Holguin and Cayo Santa Maria. But then again, the Varadero employees were great as well. For the drinks, definitely has to be Holguin. I don't know what it is about that resort, but they really know how to source their drinks. Noise levels, Holguin again. Cleanliness, Holguin, since it's a new resort. For pools, I know it's subjective, but I personally like the Holguin pools better. Rooms, Holguin again, because it's a fresh resort. Transfer times, Varadero, because it just took the shortest amount of time. Entertainment and activities, we'll give it to Varadero because of how much entertainment they had both at the Grand Memory side and at the Sanctuary side almost every night, if not every night. And as for activities, all the resorts were pretty much the same, offered the same things. In terms of guests, I found the Holguin ones to be slightly better than the rest. Nearby towns, Varadero, because it has the Varadero town and Havana City. For Wi-Fi, Varadero as well.
Well, I'm pretty cooked right now from the sun over there. That seems to be about it. I haven't been to Cayo Largo yet. I want to go, eventually. Thank you very much for joining me as I talk about the differences between the three sanctuaries. See you in the next one.